Well, just got on YouTube. This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the fourth album by American rock band Plain White T's. Basically, this product is called Every Second Counts, and it came out in the late summer of 2006. Now, the thing about Plain White T's thing about Plain White T's is the fact that they were a pretty popular MySpace band throughout the mid-2000s as far as was first going to happen. They particularly came up on that scene. I remember reviewing the MySpace album back in December 2024, January 2025 within the pitch as far as was first going to happen. That particular, they were one of those initial type ones that kind of had like a particular kind of emo and punk rock kind of come up within the pitch. Just the after effects of things like Blink-182 and Good Charlotte, some of those type fares. This is albums like American Idiot by Green Day and Panic at the Disco's A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, and then like My Chemical Romance's Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Just some of those particular emo trifectas were starting to emerge, and like the emo and scene movement was starting to become a lot more mainstream and kind of contemporary within the pitch. It's at least more contemporary in terms like this kind of like commercial within the aspect of it. So it's good type pitch. This is one of those type ones that feels like a banner kind of punk album and alternative kind of hot topic album within a sense. It was kind of a big deal throughout the spring and summer of 2006 as far as this was going to happen. Particularly just had some hit singles on here, one of which I do remember from back in the day, Hey There Delilah, as far as this pitch going to happen. Pretty good MTV, VH1 staple pitch like that. It's kind of a format that was on typical kind of alternative rock and day shift radio as far as this was going to happen. But this album is kind of it's not half-baked in terms of quality, but it's just kind of the pitch behind it that it's particularly only really full-bound known for the most part for just Hey There Delilah. That was the song that got the girth of the particular popularity here. This song has over 1 billion plays on Spotify as far as those fares going to happen, so I look after it here. The other two singles were kind of here and there. They were like top, one of which was a top 70 single, the other of which was like a top 90 single, so it's just within the format. This album went gold for the longest time. I think it went gold like back in 2006 or 2007, but recently it says, Wikipedia says that as of March of 2025 it went platinum, so it finally got that particular accolade as far as those fares going to happen. But I look after it just being able to say this is a pretty like banner type album, I would have to say, more or less out of the second half of the 2000s and pretty much more or less out of the 2000s decade as a whole. It just was something in a lot of senses when you think of like the emo and kind of scene cult. When you think of particular kind of emo and scene albums out of the MySpace era, out of 2005, 2007, some of those type pitches within those formats, this is one of those ones that probably caught a lot of attention within the pitch behind it. It has a particular type of appeal of just like just the trends as alternative was kind of getting into like the forefront within the fare behind it now. Obviously getting past the banner ones, but the thing about it was just the fact that Green Day only really dropped one album in the 2000s and that particular era of like the MySpace era, with the exception of 2009, way later 2009's 21st I think it's like 21st Century Breakdown. It's been a while since I listened full bound to that album, but within the pitch, they should have capitalized. I definitely think Green Day should have came out in 2007. It's the same pitch. Panic at the Disco kind of switched up their flair by having like Pretty Odd from 2008, which was different from the theater album, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out, and then like My Chemical Romance was dropping albums around that time, but later on they quit doing it as full bounce. It's just one pitch as far as saying this in their format. It's like a good alternative to the alternative as far as this pitch can have. This album's like a good alternative to the alternative giants, but mind you, it's just the product of only being really, this is probably like their biggest album. So it's just kind of within the format as far as saying, I think within the product of it, I think I'm eventually going to get their 2005, 2008 album, some of those type pitches, but just within the format that this had the particular girth. I look after here, the thing about the particular song, Hey There Delilah, is just the pitch that that's a real nice acoustic type one. It really feels like picnic and kind of light, kind of April, May, June type weather within the pitch as far as those times kind of happen. Just a very spring side kind of aspect within the tone here. I think it just kind of was a misnomer within the pitch because it just is supposed to be like a pop jingle within the fare behind it, but I'm glad that the rest of the album was not just full-bound copycat after hit after hit after that particular one. I just don't know really. I just don't really know why this band was not given more of like a shot with the exception of that particular song. It's this kind of pitch. I mean, it's the typical type format. Plenty of these type formats, I look within the composition of a lot of albums and pitches that kind of happen with like the particular fares about music. And this is just another particular aspect of one that just the crowd consumption kind of damned these particular outings because they didn't do things within the direction that was necessarily ordained to kind of happen. So you've seen things like this happen. There there was a lot of bickering between crowd consumption and overall casual appeal between like the 2000s decade. That's happened a number of times. Happened with Young Jock. Happened with like happened with Young Jock. Happened. I can't really think it's full bound of folks that happened with, but just probably numerous type rock bands you can think of, particularly within the fair behind as far as those aspects like one hit wonders happen. Happened with Young Dro with his can't really think it's full bound some of these type ones, but just within pitch when you think of albums from like the mid 2000s with them format as far as those first can happen, just Young Jock and happened with Panic at the Disco within those particular type formats. So Panic at the Disco, Young Jock, just folks like that. There's just numerous kind of bickerings that kind of happen within the casual type of appeal from what things wanted compared to what happened, just from the pitch behind it. But I look after it. So this is a classic album here. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 within the pitch. Out of 14 songs, I'm reviewing the iTunes Deluxe Edition. That also has the 14th bonus song, Hold On there. It's a pretty good pitch. There's really only one song out of those 14 I don't recommend. So I look after this staple type 2000s banner kind of alternative hot topic type album with the pitch. So yeah, there are 3 singles off this project. Just being able to say the first single is Hey There Delilah, which this is a number 1. This was not just a number 1 on the rock charts, but this was just a number 1 on like the Billboard 100 as well. Just like the Billboard 100 as a whole. It's the pitch that this was a song that got, like I was saying, got over 1 billion plays on Spotify. Just pretty massive song. It's like a soft lit kind of acoustic springtime jaunt to kind of get the aspects here. Just picnic and day shift grazing as far as what's going to happen. Now this is just a very lambent type one. I just look within the aspect. I think the pitch within this product is just the format as far as saying that it just kind of has like a lot more of like a healthy kind of, not necessarily like PG within a full bound kind of sense, but just a more kind of something like when you would think of a movie like Napoleon Dynamite or something like that. When you think of that particular movie, that was kind of like a PG type movie, just something within the format as far as saying it just kind of has like a more kind of just family. Just has a more balanced and kind of with more or less kind of family friendly type aspect within the tone. It's just the aspect of just having like a typical kind of day shift and just blue collar type fashion about it. And I look after it. I don't feel like this particular album needed to have more songs like this within this particular type fashion. I think the misnomer behind this project, I definitely feel like considering the popularity of this song and the overall quality of this album, this is probably an album that should have went like 3 or 4 or even 5 tons platinum, something like that. But it's just kind of the product as far as saying the after effect to like what particularly happened here was just it was not given the shot as far as like the aspect. Folks just get hung up on one particular one and just kind of ruins like the catacombs as far as what particularly kind of goes along with this. So it's just the pitch. I do feel like there's, I realize the catchiness. I think the hook on Hey There Delilah is real apple within the pitch. It's probably one that just was pretty much like a staple out of the second half of the 2000s. Had pretty lastability within the concept of it. I feel like within the chorus type junction, I just feel like the production fare, the instrumentation fare of these particular songs, even if the hooks are not as good as like Full Bound Hey There Delilah, I feel like there are some ones like Figure It Out is a nice one that has like some Panic at the Disco vibes. I feel like Hold On, the bonus track, probably could have been a nice one. I feel like Friends Don't Let Friends, Dial Drunk is a nice one that had some relative concepts. I say Give Me a Chance, like a good new wave type song. So there are some ones on here that do have the format of some of these type within the appeal behind it. They're pretty good at like these restaurant type scene type ones. They have like some good social appeal behind it, but it just kind of gets pigeonholed into like the format of saying, you know, do more songs like this, when the aspect behind it is I think there probably need to be a little bit more kind of less reluctance within the format of adapting to some more of these type songs within the pitch of the other things that they had to offer. But it's just within the format. So I look after it like, hey, I really don't like you. It's a nice one here. It's like an evening pastiming kind of typical commerce slag to kind of get within the aspect here. Just some makeshift fogs for those pitch kind of happen. But this is one that just kind of has like the typical type format of something like alternative rock and just emo type sense within the pitch. It's something hot topic bound within the format. Like something Panic at the Disco probably would have done had they dropped an album in 2006. It's kind of the format of just like that 4 o'clock p.m. type dredge within the aspect of it. Just kind of it's kind of the aspect of pastiming, like I was saying, just the pitch behind probably like 4:30, 5:15 pitch like that, just figuring out some in-between kind of conduit type moments, just the pitch of just like typical makeshifts, but then just trying to figure out what's going to happen within the sense behind it. I mean, it kind of has like, it's not so much full-bound angsty, but it just kind of has like this punkish kind of vibe about it when you think of folks like Trapped, and when you think, there's one in particular that I was thinking of that There's one in particular I was thinking of that I'm going to say here just within the pitch behind it, but it might take a moment to get to it. Just would have to... Ones like Newfound Glory, Trapped, like Alien Ant Farm, some of those type pitches within the format of it, just that typical kind of push just within the aspect of like that usual kind of Orange Skies type pitch. So it's just the format, just some of that punkish type sense, but hey, I really don't like it's a good type pitch. So recognizably, this song does not have the sheer kind of sparky kind of affability of Hey There Delilah, but it is a good type song to be able to have within the pitch. I definitely think it probably should have charted a little bit higher than, like, you know, the top 70 of like the Billboard 100 as far as this pitch can go. I'm going to look and see what this song did on like the rock charts as well. Doesn't really showcase that. Yeah, it was a top 25 single on like the alternative charts. So it's just within the pitch as far as saying it's a better look than it is, and I would say I like the product of just getting some of these type moments. So this is like some good type fares within that. But then Our Time Now is a nice one here as far as what's first going to happen, as well as the third single. It's like a rowdy kind of American Idiot like turn up to kind of get within the aspects here. This reminds of like Panic at the Disco kind of restaurant crazes, pitches like that. This album definitely gives like Brendan Urie vibes from Panic at the Disco, some of those particular type formats. It's the same sort of restaurant scene, just places like McAllister's, places like that, some of those type places, TGI Fridays, just typical kind of step out within the day scene type flavor of it. Good food outs, pitches like that, so just a good format for some of that type jive. There's some good ones about that on here, so the only song I don't recommend out of these 14 songs, including the deluxe edition track Hold On, is just Let Me Take You There, which this one is just kind of a starry and just real glissy type one that just didn't have the appeal behind it. It's just kind of like a worse version of like a song like Write You a Song, I'd have to say within the pitch. It was just kind of same sort of balm and just overall pep and just delicateness of like Hey There Delilah and Write You a Song, but just the pitch just didn't have as much affability towards it. So it's just kind of the format. There are like some softcore type ones on here within the aspect of it, but that's just kind of a pitch. That one just didn't have as much aspect within the tone behind it for me. So I look after it, but yeah, this album gets a 10 out of 10. So probably one of my more favorites. Probably a real nice one on here would be Friends Don't Let Friends Dial Drunk. It's like a routine kind of summer late day punk romp, I'd have to say, within the pitch behind it. It's very much like Blink-182, Newfound Glory, Good Charlotte, some of those type folks within the pitch behind it. There are some ones for like that typical kind of format, just the Weezer and Green Day and like Blink-182 type formats of this stuff ripped out of the early 2000s. So it has a little bit of that on here, just kind of the pitch, like that usual kind of, I mean, this is very much like in a lot of senses like a summer album, so it just has that particular pitch behind it, has that same sort of emo wailing that you would get from folks like Benji and Joel Madden, and then like Billy Joe Armstrong and folks like that, and like Mark Hoppus from Blink-182, some of those type pitches within the format of it. It really nails that appeal. A real nice one on here would be Figure It Out. It's probably one of my more favorite songs on here as far as what's supposed to happen. It's like a nice step out spice kind of get within the aspects here. Just definitely reminds of Panic at the Disco. Is the only difference between Martyrdom and that lengthy song title as far as this pitch can have, but basically the only difference, short version of that song. And it's like some good restaurant and socials kind of get with an aspect of it. So just the step out within the pitch, just the spice of having like some particular times. There is a good chunk of restaurant type songs on here. So it's just in the pitch, more so than dance venue and night scene type pitch. It's kind of more amidst the product of what you're going to do between like the hours of probably like 4 o'clock to about 7:30 or 8:30 within some of those type pitches. More in like the evening scene type fashion. I really can't think of a song on this particular product that really has like the night venue type fashion. Just something to shake your ass in club or something like that. Get some drinks in your system. It's very much the format of just figuring out like the day shift to kind of like the conduit moments of just like the pickup as far as those fairs going to happen of like, all right, tasks are done, responsibilities are done, but it's kind of the warm up and the embrace, like the moments of shifting, not quite as full bound to the night scene, but just kind of the moments of just like get some food in your stomach, some of those type pitches, just the format, just like the melding type moments and the ice breaking type moments in the pitch. So it just has that particular fair. The deluxe edition track, which is worth tracking down with Hold On, is a nice one. So Hold On is a good song here, like I was saying. It's a good pitch. It's like a heroin kind of day shift push kind of get. Good personal kind of doldrums ache as far as this pitch can happen there. Just kind of, it's like kind of a tugging song. I like the aspect behind it. Real nice personal song that hits pretty heavily. It's a good aspect here. It's like a forlorn kind of stretcher haze as far as those first can happen. So just good type pitch. Like the aspect, it's like typical in the emo and moody type fashion with the pitch behind it. It's typical kind of alternative kind of standout within the pitch behind it. This would be a good type format for folks like Panic at the Disco to do. Good, nice one. Green Day is really good at doing songs like this. So it's just in the pitch as far as getting some of these type ones. Just Feels almost like a new wave kind of stretcher within the pitch, pretty similar to like Give Me a Chance, but just the opposite of that, just kind of a little bit more down in the dumps. But it's a good type format to be able to have like that particular tugging type feel and pull it off. So a good personal type one. Speaking of Give Me a Chance, this is a quality one as well. It's like a mild kind of new wave hop to it, I'd have to say here. Just a makeshift jingle, I definitely feel like about it. This probably could have been a single, some of that type fare. Probably extra type one. There's actually some good assortments of songs, like I was saying, some songs that probably could have had some radio appeal, but it's just the pitch that, I mean, considering that this had a song that hit #1, not just on the rock charts, but just on like the standard charts in general in America, is kind of the pitch that they were kind of able to bank on that and didn't really have to do as much within the fare. But it's just the pitch. It's like a vanilla trek to kind of get here. Just kind of some Give Me a Chance, just like some typical kind of car commerce just in the fashion, just like day shifts within the aspect of it. Just something you'd probably hear within the fashion, like your typical kind of Target Johnson, Post Office Johnson pitches like that. Just standard errand routine as far as what's going to happen. Tearing Us Apart's a quality one within the aspects here. It's like a jivey kind of restaurant scene and evening shift kind of step out, I'd have to say. Just some social kind of sparky fun. So yeah, Tearing Us Apart's like a good combo with Figure It Out just from the pitch. It's more Panic at the Disco type flavor pitches like that. This just feels like something Brendan Urie would have done some of those type formats. It's folks like him, some of that particular fare within the pitch behind it. It's the aspect as far as saying if you do need a lot more of the spice of like a Fever You Can't Sweat Out by Panic at the Disco, it's like a good cousin, that particular style that just has like that same format, just the same sort of energy and just like cadence is like the 2005 album by Panic. So it's good type fare, just the same sort of pitch. Maybe not as theater, but within a relative neighboring community of it. I'd say You and Me is like a quality one here within the pitch. It's like a feeling froggy kind of after task kind of outing drive to kind of get within the aspect here. Just Panic at the Disco flavor once again, just good for some day scenes. So just kind of the pitch, whether it is just city romps pitches like that, just pep in your step, kind of strutting around pitches like that, just some standard fare, just going to like typical kind of restaurant, some sort of scene of just getting like a quick plate of wings or like some nachos, some of those type formats, but just kind of within the energy of just kind of like the typical kind of commerce and just jaunts as far as those first happens. So just when the pitch, date afternoons pitch like that, it's kind of format having some bells around within those particular type fares, just stepping out within the product of it. I would say Come Back to Me is a quality one within the pitch. Real nice one here. It's like some Orange Skies kind of alternative rock dredge kind of get within the aspect. Just kind of just like some Orange Skies kind of Come Back to Me is like some Orange Skies kind of alternative rock dredge embrace kind of get within the aspect here. Just the typical kind of 2000s punk slam as far as this pitch kind of. So just the pitch, like I was saying, just like Newfound Glory, just like Trap, some of these type folks from the pitch, Blink-182, Alien Ant Farm, some of those type pitches. Just one of those type ones when you think of a song to listen to, like 445, 545 pitch like that, it's real orange out and just the sun is glistening, some of those type of appeals. This is just one. This is just one for that typical kind of slag and frustration, just within the aspect behind it. It's that typical kind of juror about it. It's a good type pitch. Speaking of songs like that, another one like that is Making a Memory. It's like a sunset gaze, kind of after moments, kind of ruminate within the pitch here as far as those first going to happen. Just a soft core. Making a Memory is just like a sunset gaze, kind of after moments ruminate to get just a soft core kind of chillax. It's very much like Hey There Delilah, just the same sort of fog within the pitch behind it. Just kind of within the pitch, a little bit more. This one's more amidst like evening type pitch, more so I feel like Hey There Delilah is just like real good picnic type music, just real kind of it's real gentle and kind of Delilah is this real kind of gentle and amiable kind of pitch of just like 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, just real afternoon type fare, just luncheon type music. But I look after Making Memories just more in the evening sense. It's kind of the after effect of wind down type fare, probably within the same day as Delilah, but just a little bit later on is some kind of chillax type fog within the pitch. And then Write You Songs within that same sort of pitch. It's like a stock kind of light lick summer haze. Once again, like Delilah, but just kind of an evening breather as far as those formats can have. So just the pitch, I'd pretty much say Making a Memory and Write You a Song are just within the same fashion. It's that same sort of mood set that you would have if you're within the same day shift and you're just caught up within that particular mode of Hey There Delilah. These are some further type ones that just progress through the evening within the pitch behind it within that same sort of format. So it's just the fair as far as those pitches kind of happen. So I think I talked about every song in here as far as this fair is going to go. I just look after it. I think the only other song I haven't talked about on here would just be So Damn Clever. So Damn Clever is like a regular kind of summer pastiming commerce. So damn clever is like a regular kind of summer pastiming commerce, kind of get within the aspects here. So damn clever is like a regular kind of summer pastime. So damn clever is like So damn clever is like a regular kind of summer pastiming commerce wise that I'd say within the pitch of it. Just grab Arby's, just kind of some day push pitches like that, just standard errands. Just caught up within the pitch of the Crusades and the pastime as far as this pitch can happen. Just further type grazing within the aspect. It's very much a grazing type album within the pitch. Pretty just bound to like the concept of just getting some stuff done, kind of being in motion. Not too many songs like venue type spice, but actually being in one spot and kind of just more foot tap type music or drink type music within the pitch, but just kind of formatted just productive within the errand type fare and just getting within the just the product of just kind of being it's the product of getting stuff done and being productive within the format. It's a good type fare. So look after here. So the album gets a 10 out of 10. The social score I'll probably give maybe like a 9. So I might give the social score like a 9.5 or 9.25. I think I'll give it like I'll go ahead and give this album like a 9.5 out of 10 because I look after it. It does have some quality on here. This is a fun type project. It just, like I said, it does it more in like the day shift, kind of between like 4 to 8 p.m. type pitches, just kind of the conduit type moments. That not at work, not within the pitch, like the actual like routine and task for the day, but just the pitch, like the stuff you're gonna do, whether it is going to TGI Fridays or whether it is going to TGI Fridays or Olive Garden, some of those type places, just standard restaurant type scene pitches to that city, step out some of those type formats. Not so much like supplies type album or like snack runs pitches like that, getting crunk some of those type formats, but just the pitch of just like having a productive kind of day life pitches like that, whether it is being tied down with bells or just the pitch as far as saying like the format, just have an active kind of social within the aspect of like some things that you're going to do when it's not pitch at night or amidst like the 1 o'clock work shift as far as this rest happens. So it's just the product of that. Kind of like Panic at the Disco, but just rooted more in like the evening shift as far as this rest happens. But it is pretty sparky social wise. This is a punk album, very much Hot Topic bound, but this is focused on like the after effect of like the conduit type moments for later, just kind of just some melding type moments. This is a pretty social type album that has the pitch behind it. It's just kind of the pitch that just doesn't have the dance club type moments. And it kind of, within the misnomer fashion of it, I do, like I was saying before, I do feel like there's more moments than just Hey There Delilah. That's kind of the pop grab within the pitch. Obviously it has the healthy type aspect of like something for like a good kind of gentle type luncheon pitch like that, and there are further songs like that are on here. It does have some radio grabs in the pitch, just kind of format that in terms of like a more kind of vicious type format. This is really not as ferocious as what, I mean, it has the social bite. It is pretty social and long-winded gab-wise, but it's just the pitch in terms of like the ferocity. It's just not as vicious as like Panic at the Disco, but I look after it. So 9.5 social. In terms of the future I look after, I'm not really as full-bound sure what Plain White Tees has been up to. I look within the pitch. I know they at least have had albums throughout the 2000s and probably the 2010s, but I don't know as full-bound what they've been up to in these recent times. Like I said, this is their biggest album. This is the one that caught the most attention. This did have a number one pitch like that. Seemed like other hits didn't quite catch up as full bound within the aspect of some of these type of feels, but I still would have to say I think I'm going to like their other albums within the fare behind it. So it's the Hot Topic classic, 2000s classic, but just like that, just had to say I look after here, just a banner kind of alternative album, definitely would have to say, and easy enough to recommend.